So, after not following the law concerning teaching assignments for teachers, the school administration is very keen on following the law concerning student supervision. Now, the law says that students are not supposed to be unsupervised in classrooms. In other words, there is supposed to be no time during the day when students are supposed to be in a classroom by themselves. Of course, history has a string of incidents that occurred because there was no adult present in teaching classrooms. So students are to be supervised at all times. And the administrators of the school were very keen on that. Now, on the surface, that looks quite admirable, but hear what it does. After giving one teacher, me, multiple and unlawful teaching assignments, after that one teacher gets sick and has to now stay home on sick leave from teaching, the school administration's policy is that the teacher has to make up for the teaching periods that they were not present for by supervising other classes, other people's classes. So not only did I have more subjects than I was supposed to teach, more student contact than a lot of people in the school, I then had to now take classes for other teachers. Because the rationale was that while I was sick, people took my teaching classes. So now I have to take teaching classes for other teachers who would be absent on any day that I am present. So you have multiple things to do outside of the classroom. The time outside of the classroom is not enough on the school compound. You take home all of your work. You do all of your work in the evening till late, 10, 11 in the night, 12. You get up 4 o'clock and you go through the traffic and you get to work and you reach to work on time because you're a form teacher and you have to take roll call for the class. So the work through the mountains. I worked at a school where the drive was through the mountains in the mist. After having done all that, then I have to take the classes of other teachers who were absent. So let me talk about the classes that I had to supervise. Some teachers, like me, were genuinely sick or tired or on maternity leave, and I had to take their classes. There was one young lady who she was allowed to stay home for I think about 2 years while she was doing an undergraduate degree, and she would come at the end of every term and sign the entire register. I took a lot of her classes because she just wasn't there. She was finishing a degree. But a lot of the people who I also took supervision classes for were people who enjoyed something called recompensatory time. Let me explain what that is. So during the vacation periods, the school vacation periods, which is Christmas, Easter, and July, August, the school administration body, a school is a business that needs to be managed. I mean, the school has things to do that a normal business would do. Supplies have to be bought, the school has to be maintained, this has to be painted, this has to be paved, the inventory stock has to be taken, then there are the different reports. The ministry always wants a different set of reports. There are multiple reports that need to be done. Timetabling has to be done. Usually, the school has the principal, vice principal, a bursar, and the secretary, so that the bulk of the school administration work has to be done by teachers, and it's done by the senior teachers, the deans, and the heads of departments, so that they, because it is also part of their planning, the school planning, they would go to school during the vacation periods. They'll go up for 10 a.m., leave 1, reach for 9, leave 12, like that. They would spend time on the school compound, probably not every day, but they would spend time on the compound doing administrative duties. Because the Ministry of Education was not rewarding them financially for administration. They are teachers. Remember that, huh? They are hired as teachers. So they are doing a double take too. They are also doing more duties than they are paid for. Their remuneration or their compensation was something called recompensatory time. So that if they went up to school during the school vacation periods for 5 days, 10 days, they would have those days to take unofficially during the school term. Now, that sounds like a very good motivational strategy in terms of, getting the school up and running and having administrative chores done. However, when they are in school during the school vacation periods, the school is empty and quiet. But when they take the days, when they are taking their recompensatory time, whenever they decide to during the school term, the school has 700 students present. So I'm losing light now, so I will have to finish the series at another day. However, I want to just finish this last bit about the recompensatory time. I didn't know about recompensatory time because when I started, of course, I was a junior teacher. I wasn't invited to do school administration. Additionally, I had multiple subjects up and above what I was hired for to teach, and they knew that. So I wasn't invited to do any of the administrative duties. So I did not go to school during the school vacation periods. However, I explained before how much work I had to do. That work was done at home. But I started to notice something. At the end of every calendar year, the last school day in December, the secretary invites all teachers to assign something called a punctuality and attendance report for the Ministry of Education. So it is not signed at the end of the school year, which ends in July. It is signed at the end of the calendar year, which ends in, of course, December. And I started to notice that when I'm signing, my own, and I have sick days, I have sick leave, I have occasional leave because I have children that things have to be done with. I have sometimes late. I tried not to reach late, so I had, just a few minutes late. I noticed that there are some people in the academic staff that have no sick leave, no casual leave, no times late. They didn't come to work late at all, and no minutes late. And I am telling myself behind my mind, I'm thinking, but I supervise for Mr. Clark 5 times, or I supervise for Miss Roberts a few times, and I am looking at this report that goes down to the ministry of all of these people who are perfect teachers, who are on the school compound all of the time according to that report, and I had to take their classes, and I was very tired. Those people would be given excellent employee reports. They're confidential reports because on paper they are perfect. But I am not perfect. I was very tired. I had sick leave, I had casual leave, and I had minutes late. And outside of that, I had to take classes for people who were perfect. And I know that that is the standard that they're going to use for promotion and benefits. And I thought that was not fair, and it came to a head one year when I refused to sign that report.